Hi guys, welcome back to another video from JB's Trains. Today what we're going to look at is the rolling stock on Abbott Junction. Just a sort of quick little video showing what sort of rolling stock I have, why I have it, what I intend to get in the future, stuff like that really. So we're just going to start on the outside rail and work our way in. So to start with, we've got these Gresley teak coaches. These are the railroad ones. The reason I sort of have these is basically one of my first sort of big sets I got was the Flying Scotsman, sorry, as a lot of people sort of get that, and it was fortunate for me before Hornby started releasing it with 3 coaches. They actually gave it one away with 4, and I was fortunate enough to get that. So they are sort of the cheap, technically, coaches. I would love to have the expensive sort of proper teak coaches that you can buy, but obviously they're about £40 or £50 each, which is quite a lot considering as I already have these ones. So yeah, I sort of just use these. I have quite a lot of LNER sort of engines, so that's why I sort of still kept them. That Flying Scotsman is just sort of very old and doesn't work very well, so I never really have it on the tracks. But these coaches still sort of serve quite a lot of use, but I never normally have them on the tracks unless something is pulling them, whereas some of these more expensive coaches I normally just leave on the tracks regardless. So yeah, to move those aside, we'll start from this end. We have the Pullman Devin coaches, which actually come as part of a set with the West Country class Wade Bridge, which I've actually taken off the tracks for the purpose of this video. But it obviously as well comes with this Pullman observation car, which is just a very nice sort of feature, quite a rare sort of thing. I guess they did sort of sell it separately, but it was quite expensive, so to get it in a train pack as well with these aren't the railroad coaches, they are the very sort of good high quality Pullman coaches with the coach boards on the top as well, which is just a sort of nice added feature. And obviously the table lights light up and everything when the power's on. But yeah, they're just sort of a nice thing to have. Like, I'm sort of torn between these coach boards because they look very good when you have the whole engine with the sort of oh, what's it, oh, I've lost the word now, the sign on the front of the train with Devin written on. It just looks the part really. But then when it's not sort of when I'm not using that engine and I want to have another loco pull these coaches, especially ones that aren't southern, it just sort of looks a bit out of place having the Devin stuff on, because it's obviously something like these engines would never have pulled that. So so yeah, those are my Pullman cars. I really like these. I'll definitely be getting some more, probably a few more actual Devin ones just for that set, and then a few which are just sort of standard without those coach boards. So you move those to the side. You see they could just run so smoothly as well. It's something I really like. We come over here, we have the National Railway Museum York Mark 1 support coach. This comes in the set, a recent set that I've already shown on this channel, which came with the limited edition gloss Flying Scotsman. But this coach is the only sort of actual Mark 1 coach I have at the moment. I'm definitely going to be getting some more. But yeah, it's a quite sort of, I guess it's quite a rare coach to actually see really, because you have to get it in that limited edition set. But it's something which I've actually used quite a lot since getting it, just because a lot of the steam tours that you see now, all the engines have support coaches, and I think it just looks sort of quite cool. Like if you said behind those sort of Gresley coaches there, having this maroon one in front and then the engine. I think it just looks quite cool. So I've actually got quite a bit of use out of this so far, and you'll definitely be seeing more of this one. Over this way, we've got a big rake of sort of Mornsell Southern coaches. As mentioned in another one of my videos, the Welcome to Abbott Junction video, I was talking about how originally I started thinking that I'd just do a Southern only layout. So I really like these sort of olive green coaches, and I just started trying to collect them, and then some of the other style Southern coaches as well. So here we have a Southern coach, the olive one, in sort of pristine condition, but as you can see, I actually added people in this coach. There will be another video tutorial of how you actually do that later on. But yeah, that is my only actual coach at the moment which has people, and I thought I'd just experiment, but it actually turned out quite well. But then I just ran out of people because I put them all in the coach. So moving on, we've then got another Mornsell sort of coach, but as you can see, it's been heavily weathered, which I don't know, I'm sort of torn between. Again, I do like the weathering on it, but then to have black and then just bright white next to each other, I think one of them has to change. But I got that on eBay, just bought it how it is now, so I didn't have much choice. Here we have the lighter green Southern Rail coach, which has also been weathered. I got this on eBay as well. They're all Mornsell coaches, so they all sort of match, but they're just the different liveries. I don't think I'd ever have these two greens together on the same train, just because the contrast in the greens, I think it just looks a bit strange. I think I'd just have one or the other, really. But I like both of them equally. And then moving round, we've got two more Mornsell coaches, but these are sort of post nationalisation, sorry, and they're in the BR sort of livery, sort of the red and sort of cream, which is again sort of another sort of combination that I like as well. The two Southern engines that I have at the moment, Q1 and the West Country class Weightbridge, are actually both in British Rail liveries, so actually makes sense to have more of those coaches. So I'll probably be getting a few more of them. And then finally, in terms of coaches, I have these Coronation coaches, which I actually was able to pick up very cheaply at a shop in Kingston. As you can see on there, they've got the Coronation Scott. I was slightly disappointed with these, as they're quite expensive. I was able to get them a bit cheaper than normal, but they're still like £100 you're seeing for the rake of 3 of these, and I just don't think it's very, like, really worth it. They seem very sort of railroady, quite cheap, very minimal detail. They don't even have, you can see here, these new NEM couplings, whereas these still have the old sort of big round loop attached to the bogie underneath. And yeah, they just seem quite cheap, really, especially for what you're paying. Obviously you get this nice finish, which works really well with the Coronation engines, but I'm just really struggling to see how it's worth £100 for the 3 of these coaches. But I guess there's not much I can really do about that. But yeah, this sort of shows again the variety in rolling stock and engines that I have on this layout. I definitely didn't want to, after thinking about it, stick to one sort of livery and one sort of time period, on like one sort of era and yeah, livery. I wanted to be able to run as much as I could and sort of have a made up place, and yeah, just sort of running all these different engines and all the different sort of liveries and see all the colours and all the combinations, and hence why the rolling stock is so diverse. Over here we have well, my limited supply of actual sort of goods. We've got an any little sort of compartment, well, what would you call it? A little wagon there, and we've got an open wagon, and then a little brake wagon here. I am looking to get a lot more freight and sort of have it in here and have little locos. The majority of my locos are quite sort of big Pacifics and stuff like that, whereas I would actually like the smaller style ones sort of have a goods yard. I would have loved to have a bit of a bigger goods yard, to be honest, which is why I've been dabbling with trying to maybe extend it over that way as well, but we'll see. I would love to actually have a big extension, maybe all of this extended, but I'll see what happens. But yeah, that's sort of just been a general overview of the rolling stock on my layout. As you can see, it's not really one specific era, one specific sort of livery. It's very diverse, but that's sort of the general theme of my layout anyway. So yeah, if you've got any questions about anything you've seen so far, feel free to message me or tweet me. But yeah, like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.